From sleeping in a trailer park to owning 400-acre ranches worth $30 million. From racing go-karts in neighborhood cul-de-sacs to building private Wild West towns. These NASCAR legends traveled the longest road from broke to filthy rich, and their childhood homes prove just how far they've climbed. Number 7. Richard Petty. Starting our countdown with the king himself, Richard Petty proves that NASCAR royalty wasn't always living in luxury. Born in 1937 in Level Cross, North Carolina, Petty grew up in a modest house built way back in 1924 by his grandparents. This wasn't some fancy mansion, it was a simple family home where young Richard shared a bedroom with his brother Maurice. The most incredible part? His childhood home had secret hiding spots for moonshine during Prohibition. Hidden compartments in the kitchen and a mini storage room upstairs helped the family hide their illegal spirits from government agents. There was even a pulley system below the staircase for quick concealment if trouble came knocking. Today, the same humble house has been transformed into the Richard Petty Museum, preserving every detail from the original flooring to the paint on the walls. The kitchen still has the family's first refrigerator from the 1950s, and upstairs you can see the exact room where the 7-time NASCAR champion was born. But Petty's current setup? He's built an entire racing compound around his childhood home, creating a multi-million-dollar legacy that spans generations. But if you think growing up with racing legacy gave Petty an advantage, our next driver proves that sometimes the best racers come from the most unexpected places. Number 6. Kyle Busch. Growing up in Las Vegas, Busch lived in a typical suburban house on a cul-de-sac where he first learned to drive at the age of 5. His parents had no idea their little boy was sneaking out with the keys to their 1970 VW Beetle, driving it around the neighborhood while they were out on date nights. The future champion would cruise down to where his older brother Kurt was playing with friends, barely able to see over the steering wheel. When Kurt warned him he'd get in trouble, young Kyle just shrugged it off and drove back home, parking the car exactly where he found it. Nobody discovered this secret for 25 years, when Kyle finally confessed to his parents when he turned 30. That same Beetle became Kyle's first official car when he turned 16. Though by then he'd already been test driving it for over a decade. His racing career began right there in the cul-de-sac with makeshift go-karts, learning throttle control in his own driveway. Fast forward to today, and Kyle Busch just listed his stunning barn-dominium estate for a whopping $4.5 million. The property spans 35 acres and features nearly 15,000 square feet of living space, with underground garages, private fuel storage, a rock climbing wall, basketball court, and a resort-style saltwater pool. The guy who once drove stolen cars around a Vegas cul-de-sac now owns a property so massive it has its own off-road terrain for adventure seekers. Kyle's talent met opportunity, but what happens when an entire community rallies behind one of their own? Number 5. Tony Stewart. Stewart grew up on the north side of Columbus, Indiana, in a modest neighborhood where he was just another local kid with big racing dreams. The 3-time NASCAR champion never forgot his roots, though. He's returned to his old neighborhood multiple times, even dedicating a race car-themed playground for the kids who live there now. But Stewart's current living situation? It's absolutely mind-blowing. His Hidden Hollow Ranch sits on over 400 acres outside Columbus and was recently listed for $22.5 million. The property features an 8,700-gallon freshwater aquarium in the great room, an indoor koi stream with a bridge, and a 2-story indoor waterfall. There's a hibachi grill with commercial exhaust in the kitchen and floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking a 9-acre private lake stocked with trophy bass. The man who once played on neighborhood streets now has his own bowling alley, a golf simulator, and 3,500 square foot guest house. The 400 acres are stocked with turkey, deer, and elk for hunting, making it the ultimate sportsman's paradise. Number 4. Denny Hamlin. Our number 4 spot belongs to Denny Hamlin, whose transformation from small-town Virginia kid to NASCAR superstar is absolutely incredible. Born in Tampa but raised in Chesterfield Courthouse, Virginia, Hamlin grew up near Southside Speedway, which became his childhood racing home. His parents, Dennis and Mary Lou Hamlin, made extraordinary sacrifices for their son's racing dreams. Dennis was a hard-working mechanic who founded a trailer and hitch company while Mary Lou spent over 3 decades at AAA Travel. They didn't just support Denny, they invested everything. The family sold their prized classic cars, including a 1932 Ford Hot Rod, 57 Chevy, and a 67 Rally Sport convertible. They mortgaged their home multiple times and even skipped meals to keep Denny on track. The speedway where young Denny learned to race closed in 2020, and now he's expressed serious interest in buying and renovating his childhood track. He wants to own it, not just run it, showing how much that place means to his racing journey. Today, Hamlin lives in a 30,000 square foot lakefront mansion in Cornelius, North Carolina that's worth nearly $10 million. The property includes 6 bedrooms, 7 bathrooms, a bowling alley he nicknamed Victory Lanes, a full-size basketball court, and a 90-foot-long pool. His glass-walled garage showcases his winning car from the Daytona 500, complete with Victory Lane confetti still scattered on the chassis. The house even has its own helicopter landing pad, perfect for someone who owns 2 private jets, a Bombardier Challenger 604 and a smaller Learjet. Denny's transformation shows family sacrifice paying off big time. But what happens when the sacrifice meets pure racing genius? Number 3. Jeff Gordon. Gordon grew up in Pittsboro, Indiana, after his family moved there specifically to support his racing career when he was just 16 years old. His childhood home was a simple brick ranch house on Country Road 100, where his stepfather John built a shop behind the house to make and sell sprint car parts. The family had sold their California home and medical supply business to make this move happen, betting everything on young Jeff's racing talent. But Gordon's current lifestyle? It's absolutely insane. He recently sold his Manhattan apartment at the exclusive Whitman building for $12.9 million, and that's just one of his properties. The full-floor unit featured 4 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, custom interiors, and floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking Madison Square Park. His neighbors included Jennifer Lopez and Chelsea Clinton. Gordon has also owned properties on Lake Norman worth millions, including mansions in the same area where the other NASCAR legends live. Gordon's story is incredible, but what happens when you remove the family support and add crushing poverty? Number 2. Jimmy Johnson. Johnson grew up in El Cajon, California, in conditions so tough that his own father said, wasn't born with a silver spoon in his mouth, but rather with a pitchfork. The future champion lived in a 2-bedroom house with his parents, Gary and Kathy, and his 2 brothers, Jarrett and Jesse. Gary would get up at 4 in the morning to drive a truck for B.F. Goodrich, while Kathy drove a school bus for extra money just to make ends meet. Even though they didn't have money, Gary managed to scavenge old parts together to give Johnson his first bike at age 4 on Christmas Day. Johnson started racing around the area with his brothers, competing against friends, and winning his first local championship at just 8 years old. But tragedy struck when some of his racing friends were killed in accidents, prompting his father to push him toward off-road truck racing, hoping it would be safer. When Johnson moved to Charlotte to pursue NASCAR, he was so broke he couldn't pay rent. He lived with Truck Series champion Ron Hornaday Jr. and did chores around the house, cooking his specialty barbecued shrimp tacos to earn his keep. Today, Johnson and his wife Chandra live in a stunning Charlotte home that's been featured in lifestyle magazines. Their Queen City residence spans thousands of square feet and showcases an incredible collection of contemporary art and mid-century modern furniture. The couple hired top designers to create a space that balances masculine touches with lighter elements, featuring floating walnut stairs wrapped around a glass elevator. The master bedroom offers a supreme lake view through massive windows, while the home includes everything from a red room with oxblood red paneled walls to advanced technology systems that control everything with smartphone apps. The man who once cooked shrimp tacos to pay rent now owns one of the most sophisticated homes in NASCAR country. Number 1. Dale Earnhardt Jr. Taking our number 1 spot is Dale Earnhardt Jr., whose transformation from childhood tragedy to incredible wealth is the most inspiring story on our list. Junior's early life was marked by hardship that most people can't imagine surviving. When Junior was just 5 or 6 years old, he experienced every child's worst nightmare, watching his house burn down. Standing outside in the yard that morning, he watched everything his family owned go up in flames. His mother was broke and had nowhere to turn, so she made the heartbreaking decision to give up custody of Junior and his sister to their father because she knew Dale Sr. could provide for them better. Junior has been open about his childhood struggles, calling himself a troubled kid who rebelled for attention from his famous father. He considered himself a disappointment until he started racing cars and began therapy to work through his issues. Today, Dale Earnhardt Jr. owns what might be the most incredible property in all of NASCAR. His 300-acre estate called Dirty Mo Acres, valued at over $5 million. But the dollar amount doesn't even begin to tell the story of this incredible place. At the heart of Dirty Mo Acres is a complete Wild West town called Whiskey River, inspired by Willie Nelson's movie set. This isn't just some decoration, it's a fully functional town with a working saloon, a hotel with 3 rooms, and shops, including a bank, barbershop, post office, pharmacy, sheriff's office with jail, chapel, and general store. Wooden structures were repurposed from an old North Carolina mill, and strategically placed mannequin cowboys and horses create an authentic Western atmosphere. The estate also features a dirt go-kart track and an incredible graveyard of over 100 wrecked cars, from drivers like Juan Pablo Montoya, Danica Patrick, Jeff Gordon, and Jimmy Johnson. The property is so massive that it once took Junior a full year to find a lost race car among all the wrecks. The luxury garage called Dirty Dome houses Junior's personal car collection, trophies, and memorabilia, plus a basketball court where he and his friends compete in the Dirty Mo Basketball League. Meanwhile, Junior, his wife Amy, and their daughters Nicole and Isla live in an 11,784 square foot mansion on the property. Which transformation shocked you the most? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe to Track Reactions for more incredible stories from on and off the track.